Welcome to our podcast.
Let's get high, besties. Okay, so for today's episode, we will be speaking about scary stories, scary folklore, scary dreams, and scary places we've either been to or heard of. So I remember being, I was probably in like sixth grade, middle school, and I remember hanging out with my friends. Some of us were on bikes, some of us were on rollerblades, going down the street, and it's like my aunt just moved out of this house. So we're like, okay, well, let's go in there, kids being kids. So we're there, schoolscanning. How do you say that word? Going through shit.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
Yeah.
Espulcan. Yeah,
Yeah. I remember hearing that word so many times. Like, why are you schoolscanning or school? I don't know how to say it, but it's like I was always being
Because
yeah.
I'm
So
nosy.
like, I need to see what's going on. So it's like we go in there, we see, they left some stuff. So we're just like going through all this shit. Next thing you know, one of my friends yells. It's like, what the fuck is going on? We go over there. She saw this black figure. Mm-hmm.
Like a shadow figure?
It's like a shadow. Well, it wasn't a shadow figure because it was like a black thing that was in a black cloak, or I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was scary because we saw that shit.
Mm-hmm.
We all ran.
What the fuck?
One of my friends that had the rollerblades ended up getting stuck right in front of me at the door. And I'm like, bitch, I push her.
Better move.
I pushed her. She got unstuck and we fucking ran.
Oh, I thought you just pushed it out of the way.
No, not out of the way. I'm like, you better go because I'm right behind you. I'm the last one. Like,
oh
you
shit.
ain't getting me. Oh my god, I was so scared. It was so freaky because it was like our friend lived not right in front of that house, but there was a house in front of there, and then they were the neighbor.
Mhm.
So we saw them outside, so we're like, okay, let's go over there. Like, we're freaking out, so let's go over there. We go over there. On my pants, I had some blue jeans on.
Mhm.
I had this red stain, and I'm telling you, it looked like the hangman.
The stain,
the red stain, it looked like blood, and it was like
the shape of a hangman.
Yeah,
What the
I
fuck?
swear to God, and it was so freaky. So that happened, after a while of us being there,
Mhm.
we calmed down or whatever. We went home. Next thing you know, my brothers see the same thing and their friends. Mm-hmm. And they're like telling me about the same thing. I hadn't even told them. And they're telling me about the same thing. But they're saying like that he's jumping over houses. Yeah, so it was like even crazier. That happened. We were kids, right? Girl, I'm telling you, it was so dramatic. I got so dramatic with it, and I got so into it that it was like, okay, so you remember that movie, I Know What You Did Last Summer? I think it's I Know What You Did Last Summer, and she's like, what are you waiting for?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it was like
I remember that, but from Scary Movie.
yeah, they had it on there too. I remember seeing that. So it was like I remember one time we're like, okay, well, we're all gonna go see if we can see that thing, and we all go. It's my brother and their friends, me and one of my best friends. We're all like together, and I just bust out saying, "What are you waiting?"
Oh my God.
I'm tired of waiting. So I'm like, you know me, I'm just always trying to be funny. So I say stupid shit like that. But it was a real serious thing. It was like, that was crazy. Years later, I start working at the gas station.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why I hear the same story from an older lady, from the manager there. She's saying that she used to see this black figure going above houses. I'm like, what?
So it's a thing.
Yeah. So I'm like, what the how does she, and she's an older person, so it's like, how long has this thing?
What the fuck?
Yeah, so that was, and it was so crazy because when Jeepers Creepers came out, that thing literally reminded me of him. So when Jeepers Creepers came out, that whole whatchamacallit came back to my head. I used to remember driving and like thinking about it, like being in the back of my car.
That's scary.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
it was wild. I was so scared. But yeah.
See, and that kind of goes into the story that my uncle told me that I'm telling you that I think about when I'm driving home. He said that one of his friends, like they were getting drunk and everything, and they were gonna walk home already. When they were walking home, they were like fucking real fucked up. They're walking home, and then he says that in the corner, he sees like this really tall figure. He can't really tell, like, make out what it is. It's just like this really tall, like, dark figure. But then he says that it starts jumping, like, weird, like, towards him, and jumping and jumping and jumping until it gets, like, really close, and he saw that it was the devil.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, like, I think about that, and I think about it because you had already told me the story, and already told me that story. But I think he heard it from you.
Oh, okay.
And the whole thing about like the jumping of the houses and everything.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm driving home and I'm like driving, I keep thinking like, what if in this corner I fucking see that shit? Or like, what if I fucking see it on the houses? Like, I already heard it from 2 different people. But now a third one with this lady.
Yeah.
What if it is? Like, what if it's the same thing? Because this, I'm guessing, either happened in Dallas or in Mexico.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It wasn't even here.
Oh, my fucking God.
In the same, like, the way that you described it, that's the same way that my uncle had described it, too.
So this thing could be
Anywhere.
anywhere. Or could there be multiple?
And also, do they know the Mothman? And do they have meetings with Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster?
And Santa Claus. No, I'm just playing. No, but that is crazy. Like, for all of us to have that story. Imagine who else has that story.
I don't want to have that story. I don't want to see that. Like,
definitely not. And I mean, I'm glad I was a kid whenever. Well, yeah, because imagine now seeing it. Ooh.
I feel like it would fuck you up.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
maybe a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one goes into the Jeepers Creepers one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how does the Jeepers Creepers go into the Llorona?
Well, because, being scared of, driving the whatchamacallit. So when I was a kid, going down the thing, and it's like when you get to the bridge, how it gets so fucking dark.
Mm-hmm.
That's where like somebody would bring her up in the car, whoever I was in, like it was either my uncle's, man. Somebody fucking brought it up, and it's like I would always be scared, but then I would always be so curious, so I would be like trying to look, like when we're passing by, like,
where the fuck are you?
But it's like, oh, that little spot right there, it always scared me.
That is crazy because, well, I mean, I feel like anybody here gets freaked out by that little spot. I didn't know why I would get freaked out, but anytime that I would be going up there and the whole like when you're driving, it would put me like in a panic. Come to find out that it's my stepmom's fucking fault.
What? Why?
Because whenever I was little and we would be like riding around, my mom said that she would be like, "Ora cabrona, ora cabrona," and I'd be like, and it was a.
Ora.
So I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I remember like, "Mommy," I'm like, "I don't know why." I'm like, "But it freaks me out." And whenever she's like, "Well, it's because whenever you were little, I used to do that."
God,
but also, the bottom part, I don't know why. I just have a feeling that I'm gonna see somebody hanging.
Oh, wait, that's scarier.
Like, I mean, when it comes to the cartel, like, ooh, so they'll fucking hang you from a bridge.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like it. Maybe that's why I have that. Like, oh, I'm gonna see somebody like fucking hanging, especially at night. Like, it's gonna be moving around or whatever. But that spot specifically, yeah, There's something there
There is.
that is just like it makes you feel like uneasy, because once you get out of that spot, like I feel like it goes back to normal. Like it's just like right there, and then it goes like, so who knows what happens there.
That is true. That is scary.
Okay, my grandma's story. First of all, she died when I was 6. So what business does a 6-year-old have listening to this fucking story?
Oh shit.
I don't know. Then again, I think she was already like out of it, because it was already kind of like the late stages of her cancer.
Oh shit.
But she had requested for all of her grandkids that were there at the time to come into her room. We all sat down. She's like, I'm going to tell you a story. We're like, okay. So we're all sitting there. She's talking about like mother and a daughter. They live like somewhere in the woods. And I don't know if like the daughter wanted to go out, and the mom was like, no, it's already late. Like, don't, whatever. Like they're kind of arguing back and forth, you know? And the girl just fucking takes off, right? And she's like taking off. She falls into this hole, like this massive fucking hole. And she's like screaming and screaming, then like for somebody to help her out. And the only one that pops up is the devil.
Oh shit.
So my grandma's telling us, like this girl's freaking the fuck out, like her mom couldn't find her, and the last thing that this girl saw was like the devil, and I'm there like fucking sitting. What the fuck? And I still think about that fucking story, because like, what was the reason, Grandma?
So did what happened?
I don't. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, I don't. That's all I really remember from that story, is that the mother and the daughter argue. She takes off running. She falls in this hole, and then the devil gets her. I'm pretty sure there was like more in between, but it's like those were the.
That was scary enough.
Yeah, it's like fuck.
Damn.
The lechuza with the lady in the cage.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if you know this, but for lechuzas, a lot of people say that if you hear one, a lot of people think that lechuzas are witches, that they kind of like transform into a lechuza and then go about, and then they turn back into a human. Supposedly there was I don't remember, it was one of my aunts. They were saying that they had caught a lechuza, they had put it in a cage, and because they're like, no, it's a witch, whatever. Mm-hmm. So they put it in this cage, and they tie like this stick to its leg, and the following morning there was a woman in the cage with the stick tied to her leg.
What? Yeah.
So is it true? I don't know. But every time that there's like a lechuza, or you hear a lechuza, supposedly like you have to cuss them out.
Oh yeah.
To like make them go away.
Wait, what is a lechuza? Is it a bird?
Like an owl.
Like an owl?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And that's because one time I was at my neighbor's house whenever I lived at my grandma's. When we were outside smoking, there was a big old white, whatchamacallit, owl on there. It was just looking at us down. I know it was looking down, but whenever it flew off, the fucking wings were huge as hell. I was scared as shit because I was leaving whenever it fucking took off. I was walking back to my house.
See, and some people say that they're like protection, or like personally, I don't get scared by lechuzas. Mm-hmm. I think they're pretty. I've never cussed one out. My sister does get scared of a lechuza. She'll be like, oh my god, there's a lechuza. I'm like, I can leave it alone, don't look at it. Honestly, I feel like if I were to see a lechuza at night, or if I were to see a horse at night, I'd be more freaked out of a horse.
A horse?
Yeah. What? I don't know why. There's something about horses that just like kind of scare me, but only because of the way that they reacted to me. Because there was 2 different times. One of them was at my aunt's house, and I don't know what the fuck I was gonna do, but like it saw me and it like got startled, and it would like be backing up.
What the hell?
And my aunt's looking at me like, because supposedly they only react like that to witches or to like supernatural shit.
Oh shit.
So I was like, and then The second time, it was at my mom's house, but I was coming home from school, but I was trying to go inside, and it kept doing the same thing. Like it would. And the only other time that an animal has reacted like that to me, it was this German Shepherd, but that was whenever I was like really sick, like to the point where I was already gonna fucking die. And I was walking from my aunt's house to like my other aunt's house, and it was just like growling at me. And I
Oh,
was like,
hell no.
okay. So I was like, oh, it's okay, and I put my hand out. And whenever I went like this, it started like backing up. So my aunt's like looking at it, and she calls, the dog. She calls it over, and it wouldn't listen. Like it was just like staring at me, and I was like, okay, well, I'm unfamiliar, like because he's used to like the people that he's used to. Um, but he didn't react like that to my sister. Whenever I like got better, my aunt was like, "Do you remember how what's his name was like growling at you and all this other shit?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I think that he smelled death on you."
The
That was my
hell?
reaction to it. I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, like animals can fucking smell it." He's like, and I think he was like scared.
Oh.
It's like maybe like death was close to you, and he was like, "What the fuck?" I remember I freaked out my dad. It wasn't on purpose, I swear. Um, we were gonna cross the border. In one of the houses, they had like she must have been like 6 feet tall. It was a Santísima Muerte. And I just thought it was pretty because it was like really big and it looked really nice and everything. So I was like, "Oh, mira, papi, tienen la Santísima Muerte." And then he's like, "Where?" I was like, "Right there." And I was pointing at it, and I was like, "Right there. Look at that house. It's right there. It's like really big." And he looks at his wife, and she's
Oh, he
looking
didn't
at him,
see.
and he's like, "Where?" I'm like, "Right there, where that fence is." I'm like, "There she is. She's standing there, like, like I'm looking at it." And then he's like, "Hombre, no hay nada." Excuse me. I was like, "Puppy, it's right there. Like I'm looking at it right now." Until this day, I feel like it was a statue. I don't think
That's how
it
you
was.
saw it.
That's how I saw it. I saw it like like whenever they have like the Virgencita, it's like made out
Mhm.
of porcelain or whatever the fuck it's made. That's what it looked like, and it was just like all white, and she was just.
And
And
it
then
was where? Where did you like?
it was inside of like this yard. It was like the fence and like the house, and then they had
Oh,
it like
so it was in
like if it
somebody's.
was looking outside. Well, now that sounds fucking weird.
Wait.
I don't know. Like it's like the house, right? Like I'm right here,
Mhm.
and then it was like the house, and it was like the galeria right here, and then the fence. She was standing like right here, like that, like 6 feet tall, and I'm like right here. So I was like pointing at it. My dad was like right there. He couldn't.
You couldn't miss it if it was.
Yeah.
Oh
So
shit.
I don't know.
And who is this lady that you saw?
La Santísima Muerte,
Oh, so she's like the.
death. Um, but a lot of people are like very. It's like a religion. Like people pray to it. They do offerings and everything like any other saint.
Does it mean something if you see her like that? And it's not really there?
I guess just maybe they're gonna die. I guess. I mean, I don't really
Because
know.
that's what she's like about.
I don't even want to like not that I don't want to talk about it, but like I'm not that informed about it.
Oh, okay, okay.
But like I respect it so much because I don't know about it, and I've heard like scary things. It's like I don't fuck with it unless I know about it, and it's like, and I don't know anything about it, so all I'm gonna do now is just like respect it,
Yeah,
and that's it.
yeah.
Brings us to haunted places.
So haunted places. Oh yeah, well there's that one place in San Antonio
Hmm.
that I mean I don't know too much about it, but I know I heard of it whenever I was small. It's like you go to these train tracks, stop in the middle of it, and supposedly these kids like I don't even know. I wonder if see I should have probably looked more into it because I don't know if something happened where these kids got killed there Did you hear something?
Yeah, from what I heard, it was like they were on a school bus, they were there, and they got hit by the train. So now,
So now they
so
help
people
people.
won't have the same fate as them. They try to push the car
Yeah.
away from the.
Have you ever went there?
I haven't gone.
You haven't been there?
No, my sister has.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Um, I stayed at a haunted hotel
In San
in
Antonio?
also in San Antonio.
Okay.
That was a whole experience in itself because I'm the type that like I have to see it to believe it, or for there to be enough evidence for me to be like, okay, all right, I don't know. I was 19, 20, so up in the heat. I was like, with some friends.
Oh, so y'all went
Yeah,
based on it?
yeah, we
being
went
haunted.
because it was haunted,
Okay.
and we wanted to see. Like, I took my camera and everything. We were gonna go,
Oh shit!
be little ghost hunters and shit. We had a whole day there in the city and everything, and met this group of people that were also staying at that hotel, and they were on. I don't know if they were on the 7th floor or on the 14th floor, but this group of people, they're like, oh, we're gonna try to do like a seance or whatever in our room, like if y'all want to come over, like we'll do some fucking paranormal whatever the fuck together. Yeah, sure, whatever. We were gonna be in our room like until they called us over, and fucking stupid, but we decided, how about we make a Ouija board?
Oh.
We're gonna use the pizza box. So cut up the pizza box, and he does the whole alphabet, the yes, no, and everything. And then he's like, what are we gonna use as the, what do you call it? What do you call it?
Not the
Something with the P. I don't remember. But the thing that you use to like
to see.
Yeah. I ended up using, I think it was a cup. I don't know if it was a cup or like some tweezers that I had, because I don't fucking remember what it was. It was something, because I've used the Ouija board like 2 or 3 times.
Oh shit!
Yeah, one of them was like an actual Ouija board. The other 2 were homemade.
Oh.
And till this day, I don't want to fuck with any kind. So we're there, we're being fucking stupid. We're like going back and forward, trying to get, and at the same time, I'm recording. So I have my fully charged on my tripod, pointing at the fucking where we were at, and we're there, like asking questions, trying to get this thing to like answer us, and like, I swear to you, on my daddy, as soon as I flick the fucking camera off, like not even like half a second, I go boom on her door, and we're like, what the fuck? My friend gets up and he like goes to open the door, and nothing. Before we started the whole Ouija board and everything, we were looking for the group of people that we had met, and we had gone up to their floor, and outside of their room, it was like their the room service. They had like the plates and everything. They're fucking weird. But like, there was a strawberry, there was a butter knife, and then like on the wall, it looked like it was like smeared, like they had smeared like chocolate on the wall. We were knocking and knocking, nobody answered. We're like, okay, we go back to our room. We're playing that with a Ouija board. Turn the camera off. We hear the fucking thing. He opens the door. There's nothing there. He sees scratches on our door. When he looks down, the butter knife and the strawberry were there. We didn't tell him what room we were in. We didn't tell him like what floor we were in. So we were like my friend just looks at me, because I don't know if he still does, but like at that time he considered himself atheist. So both of us, we were like, nah, dude, I have to see it to believe it. So whenever that shit happens, like we both just lock eyes. We're like, bitch, I don't fucking know. Like, something else has to happen. I'm like, okay, that we can pin it on them. Like maybe they figured out where we were just to play a joke on us, whatever. Yeah. Later on, like around 3, 4 in the morning, everybody's asleep, and I'm like on my laptop, and I'm like going through all the footage, and I'm just like, everything's like fucking dark, and where I'm just like looking through everything, and it sounds like somebody's running down the hallway, but it sounded like an old lady screaming, like like ugly, like the way you hear in scary movies, whatever,
Yeah.
like some like a witch starts screaming, and they're like, it sounds all
Yeah.
fucking crazy. That's the way it sounded, but it sounded like it was running from one end to the hallway, fucking like I'm talking like fast, 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 like you just fucking hear it. And one of the guys that we were with, like he, without thinking, gets up, fucking runs out, right? And he's like looking around, and then my friend goes, and him and his brother, they're like looking down the hallways. They're like, dude, there's nothing in these fucking hallways, like nothing. We're like, okay, what the fuck? They call front desk. We just wanted to see if there was, like any other complaints of like somebody screaming. Like we just heard somebody screaming, and they're like, no, no, we haven't had. Like you're the first person to tell us, that there's like some complaints about somebody screaming or
No.
like people running around. So we're like, I did get scared when I heard that scream
Mm-hmm.
because it sounded like, first of all, it's like about 3 or 4 in the morning.
Oh my.
What the hell's an old lady gonna be
Yeah.
doing running down the hallway
That fast.
screaming and like that fast? So it's like I don't know what it was. I don't if like let's say like if it was the group of people trying to scare us or whatever, you would think that they would just try to do it to us,
Yeah.
not the entire fucking floor.
Yeah.
So that was like that's weird.
Yeah.
So that was like that's like the scary experience there. Another is after my grandma passed away, we did the whole like the whole wake and everything there at the house.
Oh.
So she, how they had Snow White
Mm-hmm.
in the casket?
Mm-hmm.
That was basically us with my grandma. She was in the living room. And whenever she was, like before she died, and she was still kind of like mobile,
Mm-hmm.
she would walk from her room to the restroom, but you would hear her temples. Like, so we're like, oh, grandma's up, whatever. She passed away. They took her. We buried her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that same night, the following night, but we're all like in the living room. We're all trying to fall asleep. It's like all the cousins and everything, and then we start. And somebody's like, "Oh, grandma, whatever," and then we're like, "What the fuck is that? She's not here anymore." Like,
Oh.
and if it would have been our parents, they would have like made any other fucking noise. But like, it was exactly like the way that she would fucking. So it's like, what the fuck?
Whoa.
So
Is that the only time y'all heard it?
that I remember? That was the only time.
Have you ever thought of like, okay, so they make houses out of wood. What if somebody was killed on those trees
Or on the lot.
or on that lot? You think that could like make it be haunted? Well, yeah, them dying on the lot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess because like, you know how some people say that they buy like either furniture or whatever the fuck, and they're like, oh, it's haunted.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Right.
What about you? Like, have you?
Well, I mean, I remember whenever I was a kid, like the whole doll thing was like around. Like people would be like scared of dolls, and that was
I have a
before
story.
Chucky. That was before watching Chucky. You have a story about dolls?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I remember we were in the living room and we're like, it was me. I don't know if my brothers were there, but I know my cousins, my uncle, and my aunt were there. And we're all sleeping on the whatchamacallit. I just see like this shadow of like a shadow of like this little person basically walking. Yeah. Next thing you know, the next morning, I fucking put my head down and I fucking I'm going to bed because I ain't getting out of these blankets. So the next morning, we find the dog dead in the kitchen.
What the fuck?
Blood.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was weird. And then it was like, I remember my aunt bringing up stories about seeing the dolls move and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it was like, and it was like, there was this funny one where she was like, I remember I was so scared, and I went to go sleep in I guess her brother's room, and he farted so loud that she was not scared no more.
She's like, fuck
I was
this.
like, oh hell no, I'm going back to the damn doll room. And then that brings it into where I used to sleepwalk whenever I was a kid. Like I would sleepwalk. Okay, so we had this trailer that in the middle of it, where the living room was, the back porch had the clear, like the sliding doors
Uh-huh.
where you could see through, and then we had a patio out there. Tell me why I see fucking Chucky out there.
I remember you telling me that.
I was so fucking scared. Like I still to this day don't get it, but and then it was so weird because that happened right years later after we moved out of that house. Somebody, whoever moved in, had a Chucky doll. Yeah, and I had seen them because
Ew.
I don't even know what I was doing over there, but yeah,
You're like,
I saw it there, and I'm like, what the fuck? But
I saw you in my dreams, you little fuck.
right, and it was weird because that time, when I saw him, I woke up there in front of the fucking doors, so it was yeah, so that was so fucking scary, and it was all dark, like, mm-mm.
Back to like the whole Chucky thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that we were still like a single digit, maybe 7, 8. My sister and I had this like, you know how they used to have make, well, I don't know, they still do, but like the Barbies, they were like 3 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we didn't have that.
Oh shit.
We had, I don't know if she was supposed to be like a toddler. It was this fucking doll, right?
Uh-huh.
She was kind of like our height. The memory is that we heard it say something. We freak out. We go and we tell our mom. And then my dad was like in the backyard. He was burning, I don't know, like branches and shit like that, like trash and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he sees how freaked out we are from this fucking doll like talking to us or whatever. He just chucks it in the fire. We're talking about like a fucking rubber bitch, you know, and she wouldn't burn.
Oh shit.
She wasn't fucking burning. So my dad's like, fuck this. He like takes it, puts it in the back of the truck. We take off like on the highway and just fucking chucks that bitch.
Oh my god.
She's like, nah, I made that voice. I'm like, okay, that I believe, you know, the voice. I'm like, but the rest, she's like, I don't know.
Mm-mm. And we ain't gonna find out. Hell no.
Fuck no, but yeah, like for my dad to be like, fuck that, like
He
fucking
wouldn't.
chuck that bitch, and not even like it. If it would have been like anything, he'd be like, I was just gonna fucking throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
You know? Nah, he had to fucking drive out. Like my aunt lived maybe about an hour away from where we were. We fucking drove, and halfway there he just fucking chucks that bitch up like on the highway, like in the middle of fucking nowhere. So who knows what happened to that fucking thing.
Fuck that thing. Imagine if it fucking
Mm.
I don't even want to imagine.
For what you said about like that you saw the figure, that reminded me of something that my dad said.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he had seen un duende. You know what?
I think I've heard it. Okay, explain what it, because you never know.
Like, well, he said the best thing, the way that he could describe it, he's like kind of like the leprechaun. I'm scared of that little fucker. Again, why did I watch these movies at such a young age? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that this was whenever he was, you know, drinking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He said that supposedly it like walked up and it was just like staring at my dad, and my dad was like, "What the fuck?" And then it like started talking to my dad,
Oh shit.
and then he said that he just went away.
So it happened here?
Yeah.
So there's those things here. I've seen like little whatchamacallits of it.
What?
Where well there's like this video on YouTube, I think, where they like it shows like this little I think so.
Yeah.
It shows this little creature or a little man or whatever it is. I barely heard about those not that long ago. Whoa, so you already knew about those?
Yeah, like with, I don't know, see, like on the other episode that we were talking about like aliens
Mhm.
and shit like that, or like the world being not what it seems. In Mexico, like the whole folklore and everything, uh, besides like the scary shit. Okay, so you know how here we have skinwalkers, right?
Mhm.
Okay, they're called nahuales or nahual. Um, that's like the Mexican version of a skinwalker.
What's your name? Whoa.
There's also chaneques that are like,
That looked like the thing.
yeah. See, and what makes me curious is it never fucking left my brain, but like in the times that my grandma was telling us stories, um, she told us a story about pirates. So she said that whenever she was little, that she would see pirates.
Oh shit.
She also mentioned mermaids, and the one that always kind of like intrigued me was she said that she saw giants, that it was a thing that people would see, like giants.
Mhm.
I know, like recently, like more people have been posting
Yeah,
in Mexico about like giants and shit.
and other places. Because I know there was this big old thing where there was like a guy went somewhere. There's a big old mountain, and he's like, "Look, there's something there." Next
Oh
day he
yeah,
went, and it's gone. I don't know where that was though, but I know it was like a cold place,
it
right?
was a
Because I think that
yeti. No,
right.
but then where the fuck is the Stanley?
It's Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is the Stanley,
Yeah.
and yeah, but like I remember her like talking about stuff like that. Let's say it's real,
Mhm.
right? How do we get to the point where we can see them? Is it about like trust, or is it about like what is it? When do you get to see these
Thing.
things or these beings? Also, do you want to? Is it safe?
Right.
Because remember I was telling you, like, I would want to think of myself like Fry from Futurama and just be like fucking open to be cool with anybody and anything. And I do feel like that. I'm like, whenever my brain's like scaring me about like demons and shit, the other part of my brain's like, all right, well, hold up. Cause like, what if they're chill, you know? Like,
Yeah.
not everybody's gonna be scary. Same with aliens. Like, what if they don't want to fucking attack us? Like, I basically just want to meet all the potheads in every
And every
like
different.
in every different, I guess, realm or life.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I did think about that the other day about like stuff like this, and it's like, what if it existed at a point? You know, like they bring stuff like fairy tales, all that stuff. Where did it all come from? How did they have pictures of this stuff? Like, where did the image come from?
That's what my aunt says. She's like, how, um, like mermaids. Like, who thought of mermaids, or who thought
Exactly.
of like vampires, or who thought of like uh anything, you know?
All right, y'all. I think it's time for another blunt. You want to go hit this?
Fuck yeah.